Happy Friday, everybody. We got a new episode of Yesterday in Baseball for you. My name is Luke. Got lots of fun action to cover today. Some more shifts in the wild card standings, in the divisional standings in the AL West. Seems like we have 3 or 4 great pitching performances to dive into. Seems like 4 or 5 teams put up zeros on the board. So we've got all that to look forward to. We're going to cover the standings. We got a Friday show here, so we'll get you aware of all the positions going into the weekend. And a little addition of Luke's Chop stat thrown in there. So lots of fun. We're going to have a good 15 minutes here to cover everything you'll need to know heading into the weekend and catch up on the week. Bibee and Skubal faced off in Detroit in what resulted to be a low-scoring 3-1 Cleveland victory. Those two went toe-to-toe as they both went 6 innings, 1 run. Bibee had 8 strikeouts, Skubal had 9, both great performances. Jose Ramirez had a big 2-run homer, and Big Christmas Jhonkensy Noel had a solo shot. All of a sudden, with this sweep, the Guardians are now only 3.5 games back of the Tigers in the AL Central, which was a shock to me. Guardians win 3-1 and get the sweep. The Mets get the series victory and beat the Padres 6-1. Another Mets rookie star pitcher, Jonah Tong, went 5 scoreless with 8 strikeouts. Brandon Nimmo had a big homer. Pete Alonso had a big homer as well. As the Mets helped themselves in their wild card race, getting a 6-1 victory over San Diego. The Rays took down the Blue Jays 4-0. Shane Baz was solid. He went 5 scoreless. Chandler Simpson went 3 for 4 with a double and 2 runs driven in. Toronto has an impressive 89 wins right now, but with the loss yesterday, they further delay their clinching of a playoff spot, so we'll try to get that on Friday. Rays got the win though, 4-0 on Thursday. The A's took the win over Boston 5-3 and took the series. JT Ginn was solid as he had a quality start, going 6 innings, 2 earned. Brent Rooker reached the 30 home run mark for his 3rd straight year. All 3 as an Athletic. I bet the A's and Rooker are both happy they took a chance on one another. Trevor Story hit his 25th of the year. The Red Sox keep falling out of the race of the AL East as they drop the series and a game to the A's 5-3. Seattle took the series yesterday and beat the Royals 2-0. Seattle scored on a couple of RBI doubles. Luis Castillo went 6 scoreless and looked really good. Ryan Kolek went 7.1 innings, 1 earned for the Royals. One weird thing from this one, it was the first time I saw a defensive position violation. In the 8th inning, Michael Massey fielded a ground out from Dominic Canzone, but his heel appeared to be barely touching the outfield grass, which resulted in Canzone getting awarded first base and an error on Massey. Again, I hadn't seen that yet. It seems like an avoidable mistake to make. So either way, that resulted in Kolek having to get pulled from the game. But Seattle beat the Royals 2-0 and take the series. They've just been on a tear. Miami swept Colorado with a 9-7 victory on Thursday. The Rockies put up 4 homers. Blaine Crim had a couple of them, and then Mickey Moniak hit one, who's now extended his homer streak to 4 games. I get it, Mickey, I forgot about you, but you don't need to be balling this hard. Either way, they couldn't quite get it done. Sandy Alcantara logged another quality start, though, and Liam Hicks on the Marlins hit a homer and knocked in 4. Marlins got the sweep and won 9-7. Now let's travel to Cincinnati, where the Reds are still kind of hanging around. They got the 1-0 victory over the Cubs. Hunter Green took a no-hit bid into the 7th inning, but it was broken up. He wrapped up the day, though, with a complete game shutout. He only gave up 1 hit and striking out 9, again over 9 scoreless. The only offense the Reds needed was a Will Benson RBI double as they beat the Cubs 1-0. The Yankees are another team that's been on a bit of a roll. They beat Baltimore 7-0. Max Fried had a great outing. He went 7 innings, no runs, and struck out 13. An unusual performance for the Yankees lineup, though. They put up 7, which is pretty standard, but they did it on no homers. They kicked off the action with an Ahmed Rosario RBI double in the first. That put them in front, and they never looked back. New York beats Baltimore 7-0. Now in Milwaukee, the Brewers swept the Angels and got the victory 5-2 on Thursday. The Angels went up in the 5th on a Luis Rengifo 2-run homer. but a pair of RBI singles and a Yelich RBI double helped power them to a comfortable lead. Christian Yelich reached the century mark in RBI for only the second time in his career. He's having a really nice season. He's got 29 homers. Looking to go for the 30-100. Brewers take down the Angels 5-2. As it's been every day this week, the final game Thursday was out in Los Angeles, where the Dodgers took down the Giants 2-1. Logan Webb had a nice effort. He went 7 innings, only giving up 1. Yamamoto was solid as well. The Dodgers had a kind of bizarre pitching day. They gave up 10 walks, only 1 hit, and yet somehow only gave up 1 run, which is beyond me. The scoring difference in this game was a Freddie Freeman RBI single in the bottom of the 6th. The Dodgers pick up another game on the Padres as they win 2-1. Now that's all the recap action we have from Thursday. Let's hop into another edition of Luke's Chopped Stat. Now, it was just announced the other day that Clayton Kershaw is going to be calling it a career after this year, and he's had an amazing career. You know, everybody knows he's going to go down as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. But what's kind of becoming more extinct is guys who have spent a majority of their career hitting, because up until 2022, the NL, the pitchers would hit. So starting off looking at his career numbers, Clayton Kershaw has put up a 162 batting average, a 390 OPS, and a 9 on his OPS plus. He's got 1 career homer and 40 RBI, 1 stolen base, 0 caught stealing, all that on the base paths. So he's done that in about 847 plate appearances, so not too bad, but definitely not what I thought. But our chopped stat of the day, which is almost more of a fact today, was that his only homer of his career came on April 1st of 2013 on opening day against the Giants. He was pitching a great game. It was tied until the bottom of the 8th when Clayton Kershaw came up to bat and hit his only career homer to center field, 414 feet. He then went on and finished the game going 9 innings, no earned runs, 4 hits and 7 strikeouts. So doing something that his teammate now Ohtani, has done very few times in his career, and that's throw a complete game shutout and hit a homer in the same game. So quick congratulations to Kershaw. I know the season's not over yet, and he might be a starter in the playoffs, but he's had an amazing career and a lot of great memories for baseball fans all over. So again, congrats to him. And that was our chop stat / fact of the day. It's Friday, so let's talk standings. Leading off in the National League, we have the Milwaukee Brewers. They've got a whopping 94 victories. That's the most in baseball. They haven't clinched the division yet, but they're currently sitting in the 1 seed. And then you have the Phillies, not too far behind in the 2 seed. They're about 3 games behind them. They've clinched the NL East, so they're sitting pretty. The Dodgers are at that number 3 seed. They're the first team that would have to play a wild card series. With 86 victories, they haven't been amazing as of late, but they've been a little bit better. Chicago Cubs clinched this past week as well. They got 88 wins, 65 losses. They're 9 games to the good in the wild card. The Padres are 4 games to the good, 83 and 70, and they're 3 games behind the Dodgers for the NL West. And then the New York Mets are in that last wild card position that's safe at 79 and 74. They still got 3 and 7 in their last 10, not great. And Arizona and Cincy are the first 2 teams out of it. They're 2 games back, 77 and 76. Both played 500 ball recently. They can both make it in, but I would bet on the Mets at the moment. Then the San Francisco Giants are a game under 500. They're 3 games back. They've kind of slowed down. I'm not expecting them to make it in. So as of now, Milwaukee and Philly would get the bye. The Dodgers would play the Mets, and then the Cubs would play the Padres in a best-of-3 series each. So it's exciting in the NL, but let's take a look at the AL. All right, in the American League, nobody is clinched yet. It's getting down to the wire. Toronto's got 89 wins. They currently would possess the 1 seed. Detroit would possess the 2 with 85 wins, but Houston and Seattle's just been amazing lately, are now only 1 game back of potentially getting the bye. Again, for context, Houston and Seattle, they are tied for the division lead in the AL West, as well as tied for the second wild card. And they play a series this weekend, so that is must-watch baseball. So that's the leaders, the divisions. Then down to the wild card, the Yankees are 3 games to the good with 86 victories. And then you have Houston, Seattle tied for that second spot, a game to the good. And then you have the Boston Red Sox at 83 and 70. They're the they're the last team that's safe. And they've gone 5-5 in their last 10. But Cleveland is really making a push. They are the first team out of it at 81 and 71. They've gone 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 7 straight. Yeah, game and a half back of Boston, so they can make a push here. And then Texas is 79 and 74. They've fallen out of it after kind of a rough series against Houston. They got swept. They're 4 games out of it now. They've lost 4 straight. I don't expect to be hearing from them again, really. So that's how it's looking as of now. Toronto and Detroit would have the bye. And then I believe Seattle has the tiebreaker over Houston, but I think that's also yet to be determined. So Houston or Seattle would play against Boston, and then the Yankees would play against Houston or Seattle. So that's the standings for you all. It's getting tight. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Guardians made a push here, but I think just a week or so ago, I picked the Red Sox to win the World Series, so we'll see. It's kind of anyone's game in the AL, which is fun. Now let's go ahead and see who's the player of the day for Thursday. Hunter Green was absolutely lights out for a team that needs victories at all costs. Going 9 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 9 strikeouts. A great complete game shutout against a great offense in the Chicago Cubs. He had a whopping 72.8% win probability added. Again, that's not a stat I throw around a ton, but I mean, in cases like this, it just shows the value he had in the game. Overall, like I said, the Reds are only a couple games out of it. It would be interesting to see them kind of make a push here in the final week and gain some steam down the stretch. So, hats off to Hunter Green. Back-to-back days with guys throwing 9 innings, no runs. I couldn't say complete game shutout yesterday for Fott, but that is why Hunter Green is our player of the day for Thursday. Now let's take a look at some of the exciting matchups this weekend. Leading off, we have Seattle traveling to Houston to take on the Astros. They're tied for the AL West lead and also subsequently tied for that last wild card spot, the second to last wild card spot. So that's going to be a very exciting matchup. If your team is out of it and you're just looking for good games, this is going to be it's going to be like a playoff atmosphere for both teams, high energy, so should be fun. Then Philly travels to Arizona. Arizona, they need victories as well. They're just a couple games back at the Mets for that last wildcard spot. Again, they sold at the deadline. They still have so much talent on that team. It would be neat to see, kind of like Detroit last year, how they sold and made a good run. I like Arizona. It'd be nice to see them make it in. Then San Francisco travels to LA. They started that first game last night and lost, but the Giants, I mean, if they want to stay in the mix, they need to win this series, and the Dodgers don't want to lose ground to the Padres. So, meaningful baseball all around, all kind of on the West Coast are these big matchups. So, apologies to the East Coast fans. It'll be some late nights, but it will probably be worth it because those are some good matchups. That's all from Friday, though, and from this week. Thank you all for following along for another week. Got the last week of the regular season coming up. Should be really exciting. Should be tight matchups. I'm also working on some new stuff with the show. Look out for a potential video form of the podcast coming up next week. And put some stuff out on the YouTube and stuff. So follow along there if you haven't. But yeah, enjoy the games. I know I'll be watching Seattle at Houston, amongst other games. So enjoy it. Go watch some baseball. And hope to see you back on Monday. Thank you.